Hi guys, it is Monday the 17th. So today is the first day of the Romanceathon and I'm starting it off with Red, White, and Royal Blue. I've been waiting to read this since it came out. So I am about to lay down on my bed. I have a hot water bottle because my stomach is feeling really upset. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm joined by my two darlings. They like to cuddle with me whenever I'm on a couch or a bed. So yeah, I will update you guys in a bit, but I'm sure that I'm gonna love it. I am a third of the way through Red, White, and Royal Blue, and so far it is, you know, pretty adorable. I think that in the beginning we've spent a third of the book saying something which could have been said in a much shorter time frame. That would be my only critique so far. Yeah, but I'm loving it. It's adorable. And now I'm heading off to return all of these lovely books to the library. I just did my wrap up for the end of May and the first 2 weeks of June, so I'm gonna go return them and go to the post office as well. I will read later and update you guys after that. Hi guys, it is Tuesday, so I thought I would just update you. I haven't read any farther than yesterday, but I'm headed out and I'm going to meet some friends from Japan and we are going to see the Terracotta Warriors. So they just came to Melbourne. So we're gonna go see some of those and then go out to dinner probably, and then I'm gonna do some work at the State Library of Victoria, which is lovely. So I will insert some video clips. mulled wine, and my husband has a drink called the Bard, which comes with a little folded up page from a book. Alright, so I got dal with roti, and then we got roast potatoes with red sauce, and then my husband got eggplant and what's that?
Pita bread.
Pita bread. Say hello.
What are you doing? Hi.
It is the evening of Tuesday, and I had a really great day today. So as I'm sure you saw, I saw some of the Terracotta warriors and their horses, and it was amazing. It was so cool, and I've only been to China a little, and I have never seen the Terracotta warriors before. They were so cool, and each one had, you know, a plaque describing the type and how it was made and where it was found, etc. It was absolutely stunning. The other flowers and birds that we saw were by an artist who mostly used gunpowder to create his art, which was absolutely stellar. Then we hung out with some friends and bowled a few rounds and had pizza, vegan pizza. It was awesome. And then, lucky enough, we got to go to one of my favorite bookstores downtown, which is Embiggen Books. However, they are closing down, actually. So everything was 50% off. So I got 2 books. I just wanted to share them with you. So this is Super Extra Grande by Yoss, who is a Cuban writer. I recently read A Planet for Rent by him, and I like super loved it. So I wanted to pick up anything else by Yoss. I'm a huge Yoss fan. And then I also picked up A Legend of the Future by Agustin de Roja, who is also from Cuba. So I think it must be a publisher that translates Cuban fiction or Cuban works, because they keep the same color scheme. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so it's like the same kind of colors. But I'm really excited that I picked these up. And then we went to dinner at a very special restaurant that we love. And we had some amazing vegan, yummy food there. And then I did some boring work at the State Library of Victoria, which is my favorite library downtown in Melbourne. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, and then I read on the way home. So I guess that I will just catch you guys up on the reading. So Red, White, and Blue, Red, White, and Royal Blue is really cute. I'm totally here for it. So I know that at first I was saying I thought it was off to like a pretty slow start, I guess, but I'm so tired. I read it on the train on the way home, and I'm really excited. I kept going like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And my husband was like, what is it? And then I eventually told him the story plot line, and he said it sounds interesting as well, so he might read it in the future. The dogs have zoomies right now because they just went on a walk. Jack! Hey, bud! Hey! You wanna say hi? Jackie! Wanna say hi? Hello! They think they're getting fed again, but they're not, because this is their really evening walk, so they don't get fed again. Yeah. I will check back in with you guys tomorrow. I am so exhausted. It is late for us. So we're gonna head to bed, and I will talk to you guys later. Yeah, so good night. Hi guys, it is Wednesday evening, and this morning was a pretty busy day. Well, in the morning I didn't get out of bed until I finished Red, White, and Royal Blue. It was so adorable. Yeah, it was just so good. I think that I'm gonna give it like 4.25 stars, or about 4 stars. It's a very high 4, but I don't think it quite makes it to like 4.5 or 5 for me personally. I think that the relationship was developed really well, and I wish that I had seen more of them. And I know that one of the criticisms a lot of people have is that the book was really political, but it's kind of hard not to be because it's based around a political campaign, and like all that entails, being already like the first son of the United States. And I guess that was one of the reasons why it wouldn't be 4.5 or 5 for me. I'm not overly fond of politics, especially in the US. However, when I finished the book, I just felt so much like, bittersweet, I guess, because the story itself was sweet, but also like the world that it portrayed was so, like, there's so much potential for that to happen, and I hope that we get there one day, because in the book there's a female president, there's also people in the UK who are rulers and also leading Congress people, and the president of the US who are okay with other people like in their family and people in office who are queer, and I just think that that would be like a lovely world to live in, where that kind of thing would win out over some of the other things that people say and vote for and do. So yeah, that book just made me like really, not nostalgic, because you can't be nostalgic for what never was, but I don't know, like hopeful for the future, that like maybe instead of it being like a reimagining of 2016, it could be like a more hopeful reimagining of what would happen in the next like decade, like, fingers crossed. And then I went out for the day, came back, and I have done some reading of the book The Music of What Happens by Bill Konigsberg. So in this one, we're following 2 boys, and one is the son of a mother who owns a food truck. Well, his dad owned a food truck and he passed away, and he has only recently found out that they will lose their house and essentially be homeless if they don't make the back payments, which are $5,000. So him and his mom set out to start up this food truck, which they haven't run in like 4 years. But of course, his mom is struggling with some mental health issues and isn't really up to the demand of a food truck. So instead, on the spot, she hires a boy that goes to Alex's school, and then he proceeds to work on the food truck as well, only he's more of a jock. And at first they get off on like the wrong foot, but then they start to see it from the other person's point of view. But the jock kind of has a secret that has been weighing on him and is causing him a lot of internal strife. And so far I really, really like this one compared to the other Bill Konigsberg one that I read, which was Openly Straight. I think I just didn't like the plot in Openly Straight at all, but I do really like the plot of this one. So yeah, it's also adorable. It's a very summery book. They are constantly talking about all the food trucks and just it being really hot, and like going outside and looking for prickly pears, which I had to look up, which grow on cactuses and they're pink, and they're constantly making like food that sounds delicious. So yeah, it's a very summery read right now, and I'm kind of loving it. Yeah, I guess that's all that's going on right now. Tomorrow is an exciting day because I'm visiting a friend in a part of Melbourne that I've never been to before called Docklands, and I'm going to an art exhibit there, and then I'm going to spend some time working at the Docklands Library, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful libraries to do work at because a lot of their workstations overlook the harbor. So I cannot wait. If you don't know this about me, I'm a huge library geek, and so far my favorite in Melbourne is the State Library. It's absolutely stunning, but I heard that Docklands is also amazing. So I cannot wait. I'm really excited. And yeah, so I hope that you're having a lovely Romanceathon, and I will catch you guys up tomorrow and take you along when I go to Docklands. So this is Melbourne Harbour. It's pretty overcast today, but I still think it's really, really lovely. That's a Ferris wheel over there. You can see it light up at night. Yeah. So I think it's really stunning. And then if you see right over there, that is the library. Over there. So yeah, I'm gonna head into the library and do some work today, and hopefully have some nice views while I do it. And here we are about 4 hours later. So the library is closing. It is 7, and the lights across the harbor are entirely lovely. The Ferris wheel's going, and all the lights are on. And that's Marvel Stadium over there. So yeah, I'm gonna head to some bookstores for some shopping. Hi guys, it is Thursday evening. I just got back from a day in the city, so I worked in the morning, and then I met up with a friend for an art gallery, and then I went to the Docklands Library, had a great day working there, and then I popped around some bookstores. And one of my bookstores that I like to go to, called the Book Grocer in Melbourne, it's like a series of cheap bookstores where they pop up, they sell books, and then they move on to like a different location. So it's kind of like you randomly get it whenever. And today they were having a sale where all books were $5. So I actually got 5 books that I'm gonna show you. So the first one I got is The Dream of the Celt by Mario Vargas Llosa. And he explored the life of Roger Casement, who was hanged by the British government in 1916 for like treachery against the government, when he compared how Britain was treating Northern Ireland to how people were being treated in African and American colonies. So I think this will be really interesting. I don't read history much, but this is like the erasure of history told by an author that I really highly regard. So looking forward to this one. Another book that I got is Our Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. This is a romance, and it is about a boy named Henry who sees a girl who is not like all the other girls, and he wants to know what her story is, and just talk with her and meet with her, and it just, something about it sounded really good to me. I don't know, I think it's the cover. I honestly think it's the cover. I really like the name of the book, and I also like the fish, so maybe it's a cover buy. I think it's totally a cover buy. I was probably like just overwhelmed that everything was $5, honestly. And next I have Lola by Melissa Scrivener Love. So this is way outside my comfort zone. This is a bit of a police thriller, I guess. It is about a gang where, so this is about a central LA gang, and in the beginning of the book, you believe that Lola is the girlfriend of the gang leader, and then on the back of the book, it tells you that actually Lola is the leader of the gang, and she's kind of hiding behind her boyfriend to keep it not a secret, but like so that everyone doesn't know that she's the actual leader. And then something happens, and they're double crossed, and yeah, so I was like, why did they ruin the twist? But then I realized that if they hadn't have said she was the leader, I never would have picked this up. Yeah, so I'm really intrigued about Lola and how she handles the gang, and also it had kind of good scores on Goodreads, so I'm excited about this one. And then next is one that has been on my TBR for a really long time, so I'm really excited about it, and it's Lorelei by Laura Dockrill. This is a YA mermaid tale about a mermaid who decides to be a walker, basically become a human, and that's all that I really know. I've been wanting to read this forever. They had this one and the sequel at the store And I'm a little mad because I wanted to see the ratings on Goodreads to see if I should get both because they were only $5. And then when I clicked on the second one, there is a major spoiler in the synopsis on Goodreads on the second one. And I was like, why couldn't it have just been vague? Like, who puts a spoiler in the synopsis on Goodreads? Yeah, so I'm a little mad because I know, like, something happens to someone at the end of this one. Yeah. And then the last thing I got is not really a book. It's, what is it? The Little Book of Coloring, Wild Woodland, Peace in Your Pocket. So this actually just looks really adorable and I can't wait. I've never done a coloring book, but I think it could be quite soothing, and also it's very small and good to take. But what really got me was the artwork. I really like the style of the art. So like every page is kind of like this, where it has like beautiful simplistic drawings and then also a quote. Like that quote says, "We can complain because rose bushes have thorns or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses." So it's all about, you know, finding a bit of peace in your daily life. And I've never tried one before, but my aunt really likes these kind of books, and I think it would be good maybe for some anxiety. So yeah, I just need to find some coloring pencils because I just don't have any. As an adult, I haven't had coloring pencils since like high school, I guess, when we had to make posters. Yeah, so I need to buy some color pencils. So we're just out giving the dogs their dog walk on Saturday evening, and it is so beautiful. So this is the harbor right near us, and then over on the right, that is the dog beach. So yeah, lovely day. So I guess I'll catch you guys up on what I've been reading while there's this view. So I finished, yesterday I finished Birthday by Meredith Russo. I read it all at once while I was babysitting my niece, and then once she went to bed I finished it. I thought it was really good, but I wasn't such a fan of the ending. It felt rushed to me. Then this morning I finished How to Be a Normal Person, and I really didn't like his writing style in that book. So I appreciate the representation, and I liked the two main characters, but I really did not like the writing style. Then I read Cinderella, and it was really good. It's about a transgender Cinderella who's also a person of color. It was really good. I just thought it was way too short to get like the most out of it. Like I wish it had been a full-length novel and not just 62 pages. And now I'm reading Briarley, which is a World War II Beauty and the Beast retelling where the beast is a dragon. But I was reading it at home and it was really, really comfortable, so I fell asleep after chapter 1. Tonight we're also watching my niece again, so I will update you guys later. But I'll probably get a lot of reading done and maybe finish the reading challenge by the end of Saturday night. If so, I'll update you guys on Sunday. Okay, so we're gonna go walk the doggies now. Let's see where they are. Doggies! There's one doggie. And Jackie. Bud. Jack. Jackie. Yeah. Alright. Shall we go to the beach?
Let's go.
Okay. Today is a very sunny Sunday. So we spent this morning baking and doing some paperwork chores that we had to do, basically boring adulting, but we made it sweeter with cookies. So I will just move right on into the bedroom and give you guys an update about the reading. So let's get to it. So I think yesterday at the dog park, I updated you guys on what I finished yesterday. I'm not sure if I had finished by then, but I read, I finished How to Be a Normal Person, and then I started Briarley. Oh yeah, I started Briarley, which is the World War II male Beauty and Beast retelling romance. I read a chapter though and then I fell asleep, and then this morning I was kind of feeling bad and we had adult paperwork stuff to do, so we made cookies, and in the afternoon I spent it in bed finishing Briarley. It was really good actually, and one of the things that I really loved about it was that the World War II aspect plays a huge role in the story, and especially for the parson who is the main character. When the dragon offers him the chance for his daughter to come to Briarley, the parson obviously says like no, and then the dragon says, oh, is she engaged? And then the parson says, yes, she is engaged. And then in his mind, he's like engaged to the war effort and engaged in her efforts to help other people, because his daughter, whose name is Rose, is a nurse for the war efforts. So I just really liked that aspect of the story, and also the whole story is told where at night the lights aren't allowed to be on, like in the trains. When the parson goes missing, they can't look for him with flashlights because they don't want the German forces to see from overhead. And then there is also a bombing which happens in this story. So aspects of the book were really great. I wish it had almost been like a full-length retelling. I think it's only 120 or 130 pages. So I wish it had been longer, but overall I really, really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars, which is really high for a short story. Normally, they may not get that high because it feels unfinished, but I really, really liked the perfect balance in this between kind of the historical aspect and the balance of exploring homosexual romance and love. And that's something that the parson actually teaches the dragon about, because the dragon is from the 1840s when it was still called sodomy, and the dragon has like repressed it completely. So the parson is explaining to him about the different forms of love, and about how it's not like totally accepted in 1940s, but it's become more of a known thing than in the 1840s, certainly. And so it kind of goes into the historical aspects of that and the ways in which society views that, which I thought was really interesting, more than I expected a short story to get into it anyway. So yeah, we are about to head out and do some errands, so need to change and get ready to go outside for the first time today. Yeah, it looks really nice outside and I'm feeling pretty good. So when we come back tonight, the last one I have to read is the Cybernetic Tea Shop, which is a debatable lesbian romance. So it features a woman and a female identifying AI. So I don't know if you'd call that a lesbian relationship or a lesbian autonomous relationship. I'm not really sure. Hey guys, it is a few days later and I forgot that I didn't wrap up the end of the Romanceathon. So I did actually do all of the readings for the Romanceathon. The last book which I read was the Cybernetic Tea Shop by Meredith. Katz. It's actually pretty short. I think it's just around 60 or 70 pages, and I did finish it. We are following basically an engineer who fixes raises, which are a certain type of robot which doesn't have its own like autonomous thought processing. It has like pre-programmed thought processing, but she runs across an autonomous robot who runs her own coffee shop, tea shop, and they become friends, and then romance blossoms. I liked it okay. I thought it was really short, and I wish it had explored the relationship between them way more. So I think I give it 3 stars overall. Hi guys, so I'm just gonna do a quick recap of the readathon. So I did finish all 7 books, yay! And I'm gonna take you guys from my least favorite to my most favorite really quickly. So starting off, we have a 3-star with How to Be a Normal Person by TJ Klune. I absolutely loved the characters. So the main character was really adorable, awkward, kind of cynical at the world, and he kind of likes an asexual hipster writer. And I love the two main characters. I just hated the writing style, frankly, and I really thought some of the stuff that was put in was quite cliche, and I couldn't get over my cringe factor. So that is why it gets 3 stars, even though I normally love TJ Klune. Next is another 3-star, and it's the Cybernetic Tea Shop by Meredith Katz. And this is basically an engineer who works on robots stumbled across one of the last remaining autonomous robots who runs a tea shop, and feelings develop. I thought that this was really interesting. I wish it had been a full-length novel though, and that is why it gets 3 stars, because I thought it was a really great introduction, but I did not feel like it was an entire story in the novella. So that's just something that happens with novellas. Sometimes they work and sometimes you feel like you really need more. And for me, I felt like I could use a lot more. I would read an entire book by that author. So here's hoping. Okay, and next up with 3.5 stars is Cinderella. And this is a retelling where Cinderella is transgender, and when their father was still alive, they went by by Ella. And then when the father dies and the stepmother takes over, the stepmother reverts to calling them Cinderella as a slur or as coal. And this story was actually more fleshed out than the other short stories, and I did quite like it, but it kind of makes sense because it's 120 pages, and it was a really interesting take on the Cinderella retelling trope. Basically, also, the prince that I originally thought was going to be the other main character is actually the princess, so that was something great to see. The first 4-star is Briarley, which was a male World War II Beauty and the Beast retelling where the beast is a dragon. I did really like this one. The historical elements were really fleshed out and interwoven into the story in a really clever way. So if that sounds up your alley, then check it out. I really did enjoy it. It was great. The next 4-star is The Music of What Happens by Bill Konigsberg. This one is a kind of great summer read, 4-star. It's about 2 boys who work on a food truck together during the summer, and I thought that it just left me wanting something more, and that's why it didn't get any more than 4 stars, but I thought it did really well for what it was, and I really did enjoy it while I was reading it. The next 4-star is Birthday, which follows 2 boys who start out as best friends, and it follows them on their birthday every year for 6 years, and one of the boys is figuring out how he fits in to society, and the other boy is figuring out that maybe he's not actually a boy after all. And it's about the transition and how their friendship goes through different changes over time and into possibly a romance. So I really loved probably the first 2/3 to 3/4 of the book, and then the last bit I thought kind of was way too fast, or I wish that I'd had at least 1 or 2 more chapters. I really just wanted there to be more, and I wanted to explore that more. I felt like it was just way too fast for me in the end, and that's why it gets 4 stars. And then I have like a 4-star plus, which is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Katz McQuiston. This is just everywhere right now. I don't need to probably tell you about it. It's about the son of the sitting US president, who is the first female president, and then the prince of the Queen of England. And they kind of hate each other, and then there is a scandal and they have to pretend to be friends, and then things go from there. And this book was just really endearing and kind of bittersweet because it shows what America and the world could be if we were a bit more progressive and a bit more, yeah, it's just really hopeful. So that wraps up the Romanceathon. Sorry, I'm talking kind of quick. My phone battery is dying. I hope you liked this vlog style. I got to see some really cool things during the week, and I hope you like seeing it. So if you did, give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching this far, and I will chat to you later. Bye!